And we welcome you back courtside here at the South Point Arena in Las Vegas for our 5th game and 16th overall on day 3 of the 2018 D3Hoops.com Classic. And it's going to be tough to follow up the one that just concluded, but we will try our best as the Edgewood Eagles take on the Wasps of Emory and Henry, the last team to play their first game here in the tournament. Ira Thor alongside Dave McHugh, who just concluded a instant classic between Johns Hopkins and Whitworth. Two teams trying to show they were among the best in the country, and I think they lived up to that billing. Let's see what the Battle of the E teams can do. First, let's take a look at the starters for Emory and Henry. Again, their first action now since December 19th. They will also play tomorrow against Whitworth, but they make their debut here in Las Vegas with a record of 8-3. Their starting lineup, there you see it on the screen. Junior guard, Daniel Spencer.
No, starting with the Edgewood.
Oh, you want
visitors.
to go with Edgewood
Go with
first.
the visitors, come on.
All right, I saw Edgewood, or I saw the blue on the screen. So, all right, so it won't be Wasps, it'll be Eagles.
Come on.
Start with number 0, McLean Steffens, 6'3" senior out of DeWitt, Iowa. Cy Staver, 6'1", senior guard out of Mineral Point, Wisconsin. Another guard will be number 5, Jake Nagus. He's a 6'1" sophomore out of Janesville, Wisconsin. At center is Emil Radicevic.
Emil Radicevic.
Radicevic is a 6'6" senior out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. One other forward, sophomore forward, number 33, Ben Seefeld out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He stands at 6'4". Edgewood, coached by Justin Meyer. 352 wins for him in 7 seasons. For the Wasps, now we will have that up here on the screen. Daniel Spencer, 6'2" junior guard out of Concord, North Carolina. Theron Suggs, 6' sophomore guard out of Raleigh, North Carolina, number 4. Number 14, Jordan Grant, 5'11" freshman guard from Windermere, Florida. At forward will be Alec Wynn. He's a 6'6" senior forward out of Asheville, North Carolina. And at guard, number 21, Jarris Hendricks, 6'4", senior guard out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. Game number 5 of 6 on the day. The tip will go to the Wasps of Emory and Henry out of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Edgewood is out of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, the NAC. And first jump shot of the game goes down for Spencer.
Careful calling the NAC. Remember, we got 2 NACs. Got the NAC and the NACC. That's a tricky one. I hate that.
We'll call it the NAC.
Yeah, there we go. David Wilson, the head coach of the Wasps, coming in 75-73 on his career, and had the Wasps emerge into the national spotlight last season.
They were undefeated for a while, got into the national poll. I was pulling the trigger on them. And pulling the trigger, hitting the 3 is Jake Nagus from deep. And Edgewood with the early 3-2 margin.
They got to watch the last one come to a conclusion between Hopkins and Whitworth. Hopkins, while 0-2, had played 2 of the best games in the tournament so far, with just 3 games remaining, counting this one.
Yeah, one of the better games we've seen this probably in years here at the tournament. Of course, I don't know if anything will ever be better than the Whitman-Ohio Wesleyan game from last year. That was simply a game.
I think this last one came darn close. You know, the Whitman-Ohio Wesleyan game last year, Hopkins-Whitworth, those 2 teams.
2 years I've been with you,
equal.
these are the 2 best games by far. I thought the Ohio North Central game yesterday was pretty good, but not up to the billing of the Whitworth game that just concluded. Nearly thrown away and unable to save it was
hats off to the Edgewood
Wasps.
assistants, saving a Wasp from being injured.
Didn't want to get stung there on the bench.
Wow. You went with the sting that early? You didn't wait a little longer?
My last game of the tournament, buddy.
Yeah,
I got to use the material before it expires, or before I expire, whatever happens first.
True.
Just under 2 minutes gone by here in Las Vegas. Jump shot is too long there for Seafield, and the Wasps will swarm up the court. Jumper no good. The follow, that will fall down for Hendricks.
On the previous shot for Seefeld. Seefeld, a very good shooter at 57.7% entering the weekend. You expect those to fall for him, and a foul from behind. That one's going to be called on Spencer. Spencer's the team's leading scorer at 18.4 points a game, leading steals man at 1.8, also leading in turnovers at 2.6. He also grabs 7 rebounds and hands out almost 2.5 assists a game. The assist leader on this team is Colin Molden with 3.3. The leading rebounder is Alec Wynn with 11.5. That's for the Wasps. For Edgewood, their leading scorer is Negus, who's got the ball at 18.5 points a game. He also has a steal per game to lead this squad. Best free throw shooter at just 70%, though, as Edgewood does not shoot free throws well. Shot
6 to shoot. Down low, and it'll be a traveling violation.
Blocking violation on the drive, not on the shot.
So it's going to be a foul before
yes.
the potential travel there.
Well, yeah, basically the block precipitated the travel.
And they'll get a
fresh 30. Yeah, that thing was, or fresh 20. That
reset. The three-pointer from the corner is good.
That'll work. As you're saying,
Negus
pretty
knocks
good.
It down.
He's 41.5% from deep coming into the weekend. Their best shooter is Jacob Miller from deep at 50%.
He is their top scorer at 18.4, so they're going to need him to step up to counter what was a 80-57 loss to Platteville in their first game of the tournament on Thursday. The follow here is good.
Yeah, 80-57 maybe doesn't tell the whole story. That game was closer than 80-57, to be honest.
Alec Wynn, who averages 11.7 points, 11.6 rebounds, and shoots 63% from the floor with the follow there. 6-6, and we'll have our first sub of the game for the Wasps, Dylan Felty, sophomore guard out of Bristol, VA. He'll be into it.
Somebody else came in. He didn't trigger the horn. Trying to find him. Oh, there he is.
Baseline foul here will be on Jordan Grant.
Andrew Davis, 6'7", senior forward out of Wake Forest, North Carolina, into the game as well. Third team foul already here in the first 3 and 13.
Pulling up for the jumper and knocking it down is Seefeld. He was looking for the pass first, but did not have an option, so he elevated and knocked it down. And the Edgewood lead is 8-6. Penetrating, but losing spot there was Grant, so he had to kick it out. Now Grant has it. Off a screen, pull up, long jumper is good. 2 points for Grant.
Foot was on both three-point lines. So 2 points, as you mentioned. Just a final note on the last game between Whitworth and Hopkins. The two head coaches are good friends, known each other for a long time, played against each other in college.
And inside, an easy finish there for Seefeld.
Just watching them in the background, chatting with one another after that game, smiling and having a good time. They didn't want to play each other initially, then decided, yeah, that might be the best game to have out here. We agreed, and they put on a show.
And inside, high off the glass, couldn't get it to fall. But going to the line will be Andrew Davis, the Wake Forest native.
Which is the first Eagles foul in comparison to the Wasps that have already accumulated 3. Back iron, no good there for Davis, who comes into the weekend just 1 of 4, now 1 of 5 from the free throw line. And back in the game comes Theron Suggs. And into the game for the first time, Anthony Williams, the 6'4" freshman guard out of Lynchburg, Virginia, for the Wasps. A couple of subs for the Eagles as well. First time we've seen Tyler Lemke tonight, 6'5" senior forward from Brillion, Wisconsin. As one of the 2 free throws is good. There was somebody else sneaking in. We'll double check who that was when we can. There he is,
Edgewood,
far side, Jacob Miller.
Edgewood still holding on to the 1-point lead. We'll have 1 game to follow this.
An illegal screen called on Edgewood. Lemke comes in, sets an illegal screen. Into the game for the first time comes Ryan Buss, 6'6" sophomore forward from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We are Jamie Clark bringing the ball up for the Wasps. He's the 5'9" junior guard from Lexington, South Carolina.
So a good game thus far through 5 minutes. Long three-pointer. That is well off the mark. Eagles pick up the loose ball. Final game today will be at 11 Eastern approximately. We're behind because of the 5 games that
we've had some good games today. Normally we don't get behind schedule, but just when we were making up time, we had another good one. So one of those deals, and it happens.
That's how it happens.
We usually get one every couple of years like that.
Well, we'll have our second East Coast versus West Coast matchup.
Yep.
Ramapo against Linfield. One team used to being at this time zone. And another one that may have jet lag like me. Well, not for Ramapo, though. I mean, again, they basically have real estate here in Las Vegas. They're here so often.
This is Chuck McBreen's second home, maybe third. That's a little playful play with McBreen.
Bounce pass looking inside for Buss, but it was picked off by Clark, who's now in the game. Good head fake, take it to the hole and swatted away, but a hard foul. And
not sure why you had to exchange words after it. Yes, it was a hard foul, but let's just get back to our feet, Anthony.
Anthony Williams not a fan of the foul, but he will go to the line.
He attacked the rim. He had 2 defenders meet him to try and stop him. Why was he not a fan of the foul? It's not like they mauled him. They went up and tried to block the shot and fouled him in the process. What were you expecting there?
Well, he had a couple words. And
did he think they weren't going to foul him and allow him a free layup? That kind of stuff drives me nuts. When you go after a guy for fouling you hard on an attempt where you drove at him in the lane, of course he's going to foul you hard. It wasn't above board. It was fine.
Who on the season just one foul shot. Well, he's made both here today.
He's now doubled that in one outing. He's now 3 for 3
on the year. Three-pointer here straight away, in and out.
Ooh,
and pulling it down was Suggs after the missed triple by Lemke, who's now in the game.
That looked like it could have gone in on the tip, didn't it? Looked dangerous.
Good defense cutting off the lane here.
Yeah,
and then
good.
Pulling back, three-pointer in and out by Clark.
Clark got a good look at it. He is 2 for 6 from beyond the arc coming into today, now 3 of 7.
Three-pointer the other side.
Wow.
Pay dirt. Knocked down by Myers. Matthew Myers, sophomore guard out of Barneveld, Wisconsin. Averages just 3.5 points a game. Got 3 right there. And it's a 2-point lead for the Eagles. Now taking it to the rim. Pull back jumper. That is off the mark. Rebound by Negus. Edgewood is a squad that has challenged itself. If you look at their schedule, yes, they come into action 3-7, but if you look at who they've played, they have certainly tested themselves. Haven't, for their sake, passed the test too much, but pull-up jumper from the line is good by Myers.
4-point lead, biggest of the game for Edgewood, and that's going to force David Wilson to talk it over with his team and discuss it. He wants a full timeout here with 12:37 remaining.
We'll take a break, come back and talk about it. More first half action here in Vegas.
Receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
15-11 is your score. We're back here courtside. Ira Thor, Dave McHugh, Pat Coleman with us as well. Editing down another classic conversation. And after a timeout, 3 new players on the floor for the Wasps. And they include Jake Martin, number 15. Alec Wynn is back out there. And I think Hendricks returns as well.
Martin, a 6'2 freshman guard out of Wyethville, Virginia.
Suggs, wild shot off the glass. He'll draw the foul. Suggs, sophomore out of Raleigh, North Carolina. He's a pretty good foul shooter. 81% on the year. He averages 13 points a game.
Seven fouls so far called in the first half. We had a bunch in the beginning moments. Teams then settled down a little bit.
Returning for the Eagles is Radicevic.
Jim Haslett, who is Jim Haslett.
Isn't he the coach of the Saints?
Right. D3 head of officiating here, as we've mentioned a few times, for the NCAA, and he's evaluating teams. He gives the story that I've used on several occasions of how media timeouts are used by some teams in D1. And the first one, off the miss there, by Duke is always a conversation about how officials are calling the game. So you can adjust.
Turnaround jumpers, an air ball right into the waiting arms of Radicevic.
My basic point to that was it feels like both teams have made some smart adjustments to how the calls were being made early, but we'll see if that continues.
Lemke, low bounce pass, pulled off the turf by Staver. Taken to the hole, layup with the left hand is good by Radicevic.
Edgewood playing with confidence. They listen. Again, that 80-57 doesn't really tell you that Platteville struggled against Edgewood.
Look at who they played this year. They played Oshkosh, lost that game by 14, but played Oshkosh tough. Took a tough loss at Stevens Point by 19 the following 4 days later.
Steffens back into the game for the Eagles off the turnover.
Benedictine,
Dicton.
Oh, come on. How many different ways can you say these team names?
I don't know, sir. You and I have talked about this kind of stuff. I'm shocked you keep missing them.
That is
driving a foul
inside.
for Steffens. Rockford, but it is Benedictine.
They played Rock Chevy.
That was an interesting walk. Steffens going line here with a three-point opportunity.
The Benedictine win is a 70-52 decision. That was a pretty good one in league play.
Yeah, Benedictine not the same team that got to the close to a national championship as an undefeated team a few seasons ago. Of course,
long
thought they were
three-pointers off the mark, but right there for the foul, a point-blank miss.
He looks up at the rim like, what happened?
The rim moved on Alec Wynn.
Back to Benedictine, of course, they were on their way to D2 this year, though they were going to be in D3, though in transition, changed their minds shortly after being accepted into Division II this summer and are going to remain in Division III.
D2 doesn't have a great tournament in Vegas like this, so.
Yes, they do. There's a D1, D2, and D3 tournament here.
Not like this one. Not like this one.
Sport Tours runs all three, I believe.
With 20 teams, 18 teams?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
I'll double check it. I thought it was always a D1, D2, D3 set of weeks.
Well, let me know how many they got in the D2 event. But either way, a timeout, another one by the Wasps, because Edgewood now has opened up a 11-point lead on that last triple. Full timeout. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
23-12 is your score, and the story so far after that made triple. A big-time three by Matthew Myers, who came into the game averaging just 3.5 points. He was 3 of 15 on the year from three-point range. Well, guess what? He's got 8 points, and he's been a big part of the charge thus far. And a steal here by McLean Steffens.
Edgewood's getting everybody involved today. They got another player out there who hasn't seen much playing time this
nice
season.
Pass down low.
Wow.
Easy conversion for Seafield off the brilliant feed by Staver.
Eli Hartchess into the game, the 6'6 freshman forward. Well, that's what he's 6. Oh, I have the wrong guy. 13. Matthew Myers, 6'1 sophomore guard from Barneville, Wisconsin.
And it is a 15-1 run right now in favor of the Eagles. Opening it up to 13 points. Three-pointer right arc, no good. And the rebound comes out to Emory. A little too far for the Eagles. Three-pointer, that one is in and out this time. Cleaned up by Seafeld.
Yeah, Edgewood's come out with some pace. They obviously played Platteville yesterday. Nice give and go.
There you
pick and
go,
roll.
down low. And an easy bucket, and the lead reaches 15 as number 15, Emil Radicevic with the lay-in. Beautiful feed there to convert that. Three-pointer by the Wasps. That's too long. And picked up by Staver. Huge run now, 17-1.
My point earlier about the Eagles playing Platteville yesterday and Platteville winning by 80-57 being deceiving. Don't keep it.
Very fortunate there.
I was going to mainly say Platteville didn't play well. Eagles played okay, but it was Platteville who didn't play well and finally got some spurts of some scores as we got a 3-second violation on Radicevic.
Yep.
So what I'm saying here is the Eagles are playing better now than they played against Platteville. And that's why they've caught the Wasps here a little bit stunned, and that was intended. Wasps have to kind of wake up here.
Substitution, we'll see Jacob Miller, number 11. He checks into the game.
Edgewood, 11-16 last season, 10-10 in the NACC. They're 3-7 on the season here.
Suggs along 2. That'll snap the streak that the Eagles were on here. Still a 13-point lead with about 8 minutes to go. Three-pointer, too long, but a rebound by Jacob Miller just checking into the game. Three-pointer left side. This time Myers too long, too strong. Davis with the rebound. Another long 2 and another pull-up made by Theron Suggs.
And Suggs decided to maybe wake up his Wasp squad on his own.
He's definitely stirred the nest, and it's 27-16. Nice head fake there. Myers couldn't convert. Tip-in is good by Radicevic as he came sprinting through this paint unmarked.
A timeout called by Edgewood with 7:25 remaining. It's a 30 as they quickly called it off that make by Radicevic.
You got an Edgewood team here, 3-7 in the year. They've challenged themselves. What do you see from this program that they can get out of this weekend, playing Platteville and playing another team with the Wasps that, quite frankly, took a lot of people by surprise last year?
You know, the Platteville game, I don't think they play them all the time. So there's nothing I think they can take out of that. They know that team very well. They've played each other countless times since they're so close to each other in Wisconsin. I think that one's just a game they can chalk up to what they've done in the past. This game against Emory and Henry for both teams I think is a good barometer. For Edgewood, are you maybe better than your record says you are, and will you maybe be competitive in the NACC? For the Wasps, it's a reminder that, hey, you got to do better than just in the ODAC play. You got to challenge yourself outside in non-conference play, and you got to be ready at all times for all comers. And for a young Wasp team, because remember, they lost a lot from what was a very good team last year, this is also a reminder that ODAC play is going to be tough too.
Oh, for sure. And it always is. I mean, ODAC's not the league it was a few years ago, but
it
still
is.
very
It
good.
just doesn't have the top side of it. It is still just as competitive as it has been. It just doesn't have
It doesn't
2 or 3
have the
teams
top
raising
teams
higher.
in the country that are going to.
I think that's changing, though. Randolph-Macon has made its presence known, and Roanoke will be there at the end of the season, too. That is coming back. They're still a top 5 conference.
See, I had Roanoke in my preseason top 25. I yanked them after.
Yeah, so did I.
I think
But
most did after their early season start.
Watch by the end of the season.
Macon had a great start.
Macon is not just a great start, they're still playing well.
Roanoke I pulled from my top 25, but I still kept them. I have, when I vote, probably a list of 15 to 20 or so on average watch teams, as I call them, and they're still in there until they give me a reason not to be there.
No,
teams I'm
the
keeping an eye on.
Listen, the ODAC's always been competitive from top to bottom. They've always had 2 or 3 teams at the top that are national contenders. Now, those top 2 or 3 haven't materialized in the last couple of years. The top has come back to the middle in the ODAC. Virginia Wesleyan hasn't been as good as they have been. Randolph-Macon has been a little streakier than we're used to. Hampden-Sydney has absolutely disappeared off the landscape altogether as a free throw is good there.
Incredible, too. I mean, I was talking to Pat about some of the great tournaments I used to go down to at Hampden-Sydney, and they become a non-factor.
Guilford isn't as good as they have been, but things are also changing. You've had Emory and Henry now showing up into the picture. Roanoke under Clay Nunley is returned. Remember, under Paige Moyer, they were a pretty good program, though streaky. W&L has become a factor. They've made a nice hire, and I'm biased only in last name's sake because their head coach is McHugh. And I think the top of that conference now is returning. It's still a top 5 conference because it is one of the most difficult conference schedules to get through.
Very fortunate there, Miller, as that pass was disrupted by a hand in the lane, but Miller was there to collect it and put it in. Lead is back to 13.
ODAC plays that offset double round robin where they play half the conference, you play twice, half the conference, you play once. It used to be everybody gets into the tournament. Now the top 12.
Long three, no good.
Top 10. Top 12, I think, get into the conference tournament. ODAC's playoffs.
Going to text J.J. Nickoloff.
I just blanked because they made a slight change because they got bigger adding Ferrum, and they needed to make an adjustment to things, and I've just blanked. It used to be everybody got into the tournament. That is no longer the case. No, you don't need to text him. Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal.
I'm not texting him. I'm texting him.
You're play-by-play.
Power forward on our basketball team. He's
play-by-play.
He promised me a dunk today.
I'm going to take the phone away.
5:45 to go. Kick out 3. Miller, that's too long. And a rebound by Suggs. Suggs has kind of been that one guy so far for the Wasps that's kind of tried to keep them in the game, and he's doing right there with a nice swoop to the hoop.
And we should point out, listen, the Wasps play in the ODAC is far different than what the Eagles play in the NACC, which is a very maybe 1 or 2 team conference in terms of really good, and everybody else is kind of middle to bottom. And it's just night and day different in those 2 conferences. Though Benedictine has certainly represented themselves well in the national stage the last few years, but you get that with teams in conferences. You'll get a top team represent themselves well. The conference doesn't. That's where the ODAC is like the WIAC and the CCIW, and an illegal screen called on the Eagles will get the turnover. But again, the WIAC, the CCIW, the MIAC has become like that now. And a technical foul. Few too many words from Mr. Jacob Miller, and he picks up 2 fouls here, including one's a tech. Coach, I don't think realizes it. No, he does. He
that's
comes
how you
over,
get. He's got
takes him out.
Little smirk on his face. That's how you get yanked though from the game.
He probably said the magic word, to be honest with you.
The magic word will get you a seat on the bench, and Suggs will shoot the foul shot.
Coach Meyer wants to have a conversation with the official. Let's find out exactly what the call was. And the other official says something to the bench about being quiet. Suggs hits both, right?
And the ODAC, by the way, thanks to J.J. Nickoloff, Associate Commissioner.
Yeah, you could have just said you were doing that.
I texted him too, but after I texted my power forward. They have 10 each.
10 is now. Now it's 10. Yeah, they used to be all 12. Now they've got 13 or 14 on the men's side, 14 or 15 on the women's side, so they have all 10. I don't need to see it all. I really don't. I'm focused on the game.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, foul drawn here. That'll send Grant to the line.
NACC could take a page out of the ODAC. They're getting so big now because Benedictine was heading out. Illinois Tech was going to take their place. Now Benedictine's staying in there. The conference is getting big. They might consider the ODAC model and go to that double offset. But back to that point earlier about conferences that are so good and competitive.
Friendly bounce there, and the free throw converted. Where would you put the ODAC right now?
Still in the top 5.
Nationally.
Yeah, absolutely. CCIW and WIAC are absolutely in that conversation. So is the NESCAC. Those are the top 3, probably, arguably, in UAA. UAA, though, is
I think they're down a little bit.
Tops come down a little bit. The middle's still just as competitive. Tops come down, and that's where the ODAC and the UAA fit in the bottom of that top 5. The MIAC would certainly be in that conversation. The problem is they play so many conference games, it's hard to really judge them. But they're competitive. But here's an example. MAC Commonwealth, I think, is one of the most competitive conferences top to bottom. They don't produce national programs necessarily that stand out to you. I wouldn't put them in that conversation necessarily.
Three-pointer is short. Edgewood with the carom.
But the NA, so that's my 5 hasn't changed. The MIAC has made it interesting. I would consider a change there, but the ODAC's kind of emerged back in the national spotlight.
Third opportunity, still no good, and this time Emory Henry gets the board.
MIAA's gotten slightly more competitive, but still the bottom isn't as good as it should be. The NAC and the OAC, the NCAC, I should say, and the OAC certainly have gotten more competitive. The top 10 has gotten really fun to watch.
Both teams have gotten a little ice cold here from the field. Just about 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Still an 8-point lead for Edgewood. That ball's disrupted and taken away. The Wasps forcing another turnover here.
Anthony Williams landed awkwardly, but then found another gear on
Suggs
the
loses his balance, and a turnover, and then a ball whipped. Edgewood able to hold on to it.
Suggs was battling Steffens, and Steffens kind of disappeared on him.
No look pass down low, and Seafield finishes. Beautiful feed there. Cy Staver, wow.
Yeah, Staver with a nice pass. Seafield with a composed finish on what was a very broken down play. 33-22.
Backing him in was Felty. Has to kick it out here. Suggs with it. 4 to shoot. Three-pointer too long. And Staver with the carom.
Suggs obviously trying to do as much as he can for this team. Spencer, we haven't talked about much.
Hands it off. Lemke for 3 as an air ball.
Lemke with the Andre Agassi look. Headband. He comes out.
Matthew Myers, who had a great opening to his game today, he's back out on the floor with 8 points.
Staver comes back in, and Radicevic as well. And for the Wasps, looks like Hendricks has returned to the floor. And the ball handler, Clark.
Three-pointer by Suggs. Nails it.
Wow. He has willed his team back into this. They trailed by 15. They are now down by 8.
Well, we knew the Wasps were not going to go away. They weren't going to buzz off. So 33-26 now to lead. Pass down low, knocked away and picked up. Good job by Hendricks to force that. What'd you say?
I think we might have to take your headset away.
Hey, have some fun. Last day of the full day of the tournament here. That floater is no good by Clark. Wide open. Look at a 3 here, nailed by Steffens. McLean Steffens, 6'3" senior, answers the run by the Wasps as he buries the triple. It's a 10-point lead now, under 2 to go in the opening half here in Vegas. Suggs doing most of the heavy lifting here. Nice move to the hoop. Swoop. Oh, it won't go down.
Yep, that's a foul.
And an offensive foul. Wynn was trying to gain position, but he commits the infraction.
No, he had position. He just wanted Radicevic out of the way. He had a great position. He just absolutely
he wanted more position
for Radicevic.
He wanted the parking spot and the 7 spaces around him.
Yes, he did.
Can't scratch my car.
It's so true.
90 seconds to go here in the opening half. Edgewood has led by, I believe, as many as 15.
Yes.
27-12. Ball away, right-handed jumper knocked down by Radicevic. Beautiful play there. He averages nearly a double-double per game. And a big shot there pushes the Edgewood lead back to a dozen.
Enjoyed watching Radicevic. He's got a nice little game to him, a very European-style game. Though he's not from Europe, but he's got that type of game inside.
Tough shot.
Wow.
Foul. Wow, it falls by Hendricks, and he'll go to the line. He drew the foul. The shot falls. And the senior out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, averaging 12.6 per game.
Coach Meyer is saying he's got his hands up, but you remember, you can have your hands up and still be getting the guy with the body. I'm pretty sure that's what he did.
No good. And Negus with the collection.
He bodied him up. He left his feet moving laterally. If he left his feet going straight up, he gets it. But leaving your feet laterally, you lose the defensive position.
Left of the lane, couldn't handle it, but somehow salvaging possession was Radicevic.
He looked
10
away.
seconds to shoot. Looked at the basket first. Three-pointer. That's too long. Ball's batted back towards the middle of the floor. Scooped up here by the Wasps. Clark has it. Clark kicks it out. Left side. Three-pointer. And that is short. Rebound grab by Seefeld. There is 17 seconds to go here in the opening half. Edgewood leading by 10.
Apparently they're calling out Wisconsin here. Hard not to hear that. I said that in your favor, sir, because of your recent work.
2 seconds to go. Three from the corner.
Wow, if he had hit that, I would have been impressed because Clark got a hand on it.
And he wanted a foul.
He got the ball clean. But the fact that he still got a shot off was pretty darn impressive.
Well, an impressive first half indeed for these Eagles after losing to Platteville by 23 in the opening game of this tournament. They are in front of Emory and Henry making their classic debut today by 10 at the break, 38-28. Dave, your thoughts so far on what you've seen here in the first 20 minutes?
A weird first half, not really clean. Both teams kind of not playing ugly, that's not the right word, but certainly playing up and down, sloppy a little bit, trying to almost outman each other, outdo each other a little bit. We'll see if things settle down in the second half. Edgewood caught the Wasps out early in this one. Edgewood more ready to play this game than E&H was, and I'd like to see what Emory and Henry does coming out of here if David Wilson kind of gets them refocused. Lucky Suggs is playing as well as he is, even though he's not playing tremendous. He's playing well enough to get them from a 15-point deficit to 10.
He's absolutely carrying the load right now, 12 of their 28 points, and he is the leading scorer at the half. But for Edgewood, the scoring has been pretty evenly distributed. 8 points for Seefeld, Radicevic, and Matthew Myers, who, again, averaged just 3.5 coming in. He's got 8 points here in the first half. Negus with 6 points. So those 4 players have accounted for 30 of the 38. A pretty good first half indeed for the Eagles. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, probably about 10 minutes or so, we'll have full first half stats and then get you set for half number 2 here in Las Vegas.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
My name is Marcus Walker. I was All-State, won a state championship, a high school All-American, and played college and pro ball. I played because I love the game. I grind to be the best. I sweat because I put in work. I'm strong because I believe. When I want to bring it before game time, I come to the house that college basketball built, the CBE. No matter your skill, take it to another level. Elevate your game right here at the College Basketball Experience at Sprint Center.
Big shots. Teamwork. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Krager Center in Salem.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and get your tickets today.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
It's on us to stop sexual assault
in any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us, all of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Back here in Las Vegas, Ira Thor, Dave McHugh getting ready for second half action. A couple other statistics we wanted to point out before we begin the second half. Just 4 turnovers in the first half for Emory and Henry. So if there's one positive, despite this 10-point deficit, they have held on to the ball. Just not shooting very well right now. Edgewood shot 53.3% in the first half. Wasps just 32.1%. 1 of 12, abysmal from beyond the arc, and that right now is an area they're going to have to improve.
Absolutely agree.
Edgewood hit 5 triples in the first half. So we now go from left to right. Edgewood will, the visiting team in this contest. And another easy look down low as converting it was number 33, Seafeld, off the delicious fish dish from Steffens. Driving to the hole, easy 2 for Spencer, returning the favor.
I'd like to see Spencer get a little bit more involved in this game for Emory and Henry. He's only got 2 points, make it 4. You can't let Suggs do all the heavy lifting. Spencer is the team's leading scorer coming into the contest.
Another pass down low, turn one way, turn the other, and converting is Radicevic.
He's got a nice game inside. I mean, yeah, bigger guys are gonna probably give him some trouble, but yeah, I like his style. He's doing well against Wynn right now in this one. No complaints, as they say, right? Well, there probably are, but we'll leave it.
Jumpers well off the mark there by Wynn. Number 1 game to follow this last game of the day, and the 17th game that will be the penultimate game overall, Rampo Linfield. But first, another 18 minutes here. Can Edgewood upset an Emory and Henry squad that last year kind of took the nation by storm as a huge underdog that came out? Wow. Big shot there, big 3 by Staver. Again, Emory and Henry last year, when I remember in the preseason poll, wasn't even on my radar. And came out of nowhere to become something special.
No, absolutely agree. Weren't on anybody's radar. I mean, to be blunt, Emory and Henry's history hadn't warranted that. No one realized the talent they had compiled there, and they quickly made their presence known. But even when they did, people, still took some time to believe what they were seeing was real. Because, again, the ODAC has been anybody else but. We rattled off those names in the first half. Emory and Henry's never really, for a number of years, been in that ODAC conversation.
The parity is good for college basketball to see some of the other programs emerge. And right now, the Wasps, maybe one of the premier programs in the ODAC. Long 3 with 4 on the shot clock, no good.
We were talking earlier about Randolph, Macon, and Roanoke. We didn't even mention that E&H is going to be in that conversation at the top of the conference the way they play.
That triple's off the mark. The rebound comes to Hendricks. He misses. And Radicevic has the carom. 15-point lead for the Eagles here early in the second half.
Edgewood continue over 50%, probably not.
Right-handed layup, no good. Rebound by Steffens, and they'll reset here.
But the Wasps have got to start hitting shots themselves.
Called it a layup. It's more like a little floater. He's got this nice little floater that comes out of his hand real softly.
Yep.
3-pointer. Left of the arc, in and out. And a rebound here for Wynn.
It's a good look. Maybe a little rushed, but a good look.
Now strong to the hole. Swooping in with the right hand is Spencer. And that will prompt a full timeout here. A full timeout. And that will send us to a break as well. We've played just 3 minutes and 29 seconds here in the second half. 45-32, Eagles on top.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us. All of us.
To stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Back here in a 13-point lead for Edgewood. They have the ball after the timeout.
Oops. Sorry, I've got the wrong score on the board. There we go. It's like 13. Whoops.
Well, never said doing scoreboard and announcing and producing all at the same time is an easy task.
Especially a game 15 of 18.
Surprised.
No, 16 of 18.
No, hey, listen, score right, the number of games, it's all an approximation
all
at this point.
Yeah, it's all relative, right?
My body's still on East Coast time. I've only been out here for about a day and a half, so I haven't fully adjusted. But, and I'll be on a plane in 4 hours.
Fair.
Sorry to have to cut the trip a little short.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You wanted to abandon us. I know that. I say that tongue-in-cheek, folks.
Consider coming back next year.
You'll consider it?
I can see if I can fit it into my post-Christmas schedule.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Nah, I really enjoyed this week. It's been 2 days, but have enjoyed it greatly. A great tournament. This is certainly the premier regular season event in Division III, and just a pleasure to be part of it yet again. Coming back into the game for the Wasps is Darren Suggs, who has been their best player thus far. Their second leading scorer on the year at 13 per game. And that foul shot makes it 46-32. Three-pointer in front of the bench, no good. However, drawing the foul. And it'll be 3 shots coming up here for Jarvis Hendricks. Hendricks, a 71% foul shooter on the year, 6'4" senior guard out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. And the first one, back iron, no good. That one does rattle in. Returning will be Jamie Clark, junior guard out of Lexington, South Carolina. And making 2 out of 3 here is Hendricks. So the score narrowed to 12. And a moving screen is called here. And an easy call for our official.
Yeah, and even Coach Meyer talking to Radicevic about it. Radicevic, geez, now you got it in my head. Radicevic, there we go. I got it. I'm there. I'm fine. I'm okay.
Long three, pull back, that's halfway down, didn't fall through, and a rebound by Clark.
Yeah.
Correction, by Nagus. And a foul on the floor here by Jamie Clark.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the ball. He's grabbed the whole Lemke by accident. Just his first foul.
Inbounds goes out to Nagus. He'll drive from the foul line, a push off. Oh no, foul first on the floor.
That's on Clark. Yeah, he's toe for toe with him, but he's also cutting off where he's trying to go, if that makes any sense.
A lot of calls here in the last minute, being a little more tightly contested officiated game.
I just think the players are getting a little more aggressive, especially the Wasps.
Could also be getting tired too, which is an option, and that is a 3 that is short. Typically shots are short when you are getting tired. That three is long off the
Yeah,
mark.
the trick with that in this building is that the shooting lines are a little bit different than most of your traditional Division III places. We don't tend to make a ton of light of it nowadays, but you can also be short because you're just not sure where the rim is.
Knowing where the rim is for sure is Radicevic. And the lead back to 14. A nice fall-away jumper. Man, 6'6", he gets a lot out of his size.
Yeah, that was a nice little 15-footer, straight up, nice, I'm going to put it home type shot.
He's listed as a center, but let's be real. He plays more like, like a 3-4, just the way he's able to elevate, get some good jump shots.
Yeah, but they play him in their system as a center. He goes down to the post, he's centering up.
Yeah, but he's also backing away and having these fall-away jump shots, and he's got a little patented move that he's really made his own.
Yeah, I'd argue, though, forwards are no longer back-to-the-basket guys either. They haven't been for a while. But he's still in their system playing in tight. As coming into the game for the Eagles is Buss and Seefeld. Coming in for the Wasps comes Wynn again. Also out there is Felty.
That free throw is good. And it makes the lead 48-35. Good defense here by Wynn. Ball will be kicked out, cross-court pass. Matt Myers back in the game here for the Eagles. He had 8 points in the first half, a productive first half. Right of the lane, 7 seconds to shoot. Turnaround, fall away, jumper, no good. Rebound by Clark. And he skies it. Floater off the window is short, but there for the putback is Alec Wynn. And Wynn, a 63% shooter on the year. He missed a couple shots he wanted back earlier in this game, but that one plain as day.
And Edgewood calls timeout.
Well, they call timeout, so will we. We'll be right back. 48-37, Edgewood up by 11.
Receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
And we're back here. Restarted before the commercial ended, but Edgewood's first possession after the timeout, inlet pass knocked away. No. Anthony Williams just checked back into the game for the Wasps for the first time here in the second half. Disrupted the pass. He misses the shot here, gets his own rebound, misses again. Third opportunity, and guess who is Wynn?
Yeah, Wynn gets it that time. I'm not sure what Anthony Williams was doing. The first shot was a little chaotic. The second shot, he barely had his hands in it. His body was almost perpendicular to the floor, or parallel, I should say, to the floor. And he's throwing it up. And compose yourself. You got the rebound. You don't need to just throw it right back up again. He had plenty of time.
3-point play. Misses that one badly. Loose ball, scramble for it. Coming up with it is Steffens.
Wasps team that only shoots 67% from the free throw line, though the Eagles not much better. Coming into the weekend, 65.8%.
Wynn's got 4 points right now. His team down by 9. That jumper, not a good shot. A little bit of a force there by Radicevic. Can the Wasps capitalize here?
Not the prettiest of games here.
Got a little spoiled by a couple of the other ones we've seen this tournament, including the last one that just concluded. Knocked out of the hands of Wynn, stripped away by Radicevic.
Too many guys will back into a player thinking he's going to stand his ground and he can use him as a backboard, and Wynn just did that and he coughed up the ball as a result because guess what? The defender did not stay with him.
Myers swings it to Steffens.
Got it. Somebody without a shoe. Defender Wynn is right shoeless.
In and out.
Slippy enough on the floor.
Wynn lost his shoe. He'll go collect it as his team will take some time. Jordan Grant coming up to court.
Back, he did. Okay, so maybe your shoe's on too loose if you can put it back on that easily, right? That's insane. The floor is a little bit slippery because we got a little bit of dust in the air. That's tradition here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. They do a good job of keeping it clean, but you don't want to wear your socks.
Three-pointers, Dylan Felty. Felty drills it. It is suddenly a 6-point game.
It hasn't been this close since the beginning of the game.
Not at all. And a foul off the ball here, or on the ball by Jordan Grant.
A little too excited. Listen, you're coming back. Don't make a mistake because of your exuberance.
Talked about the dust. Part of it, you would imagine, is because this arena is primarily used as a rodeo.
Well, one of its major uses,
That's where it sees a lot of its
rodeo
date filled throughout the year, not concerts or basketball games.
3.4 million pounds of dirt will cover this floor for those types of events.
And if you look ever in this arena and you go behind the stands, there is stalls and
huge stable.
There's another small, nice ball away there by Radicevic. There's
I like him
actually
more and more.
another small little arena in the back by the loading dock.
However you say the sponsor, Pryford Arena.
I think you could actually put a bowling alley down there for events as well.
They got that on top of the Pryford Arena is their major bowling alley.
But
this
the
place
way
is
it's
insane.
laid out, though, you could
you're
actually
right.
have it for like a PBA event.
Well, I wonder if that's because of the design of the bowling alley above it. Because they got basically a PBA styled bowling alley above it. You're right, though. I mean, this place is one of the more used arenas in the country. It is busy almost every day. I think last year or the year before, someone told me this arena is being used or has to has something going on, something like 300 days of the year.
President Trump had one of his rallies here at some point, I heard.
He did in the presidential side of the election.
It seats a little bit over 4,000.
4,600 permanent seats. Yep.
And then obviously there's a lot of room on the concourse as well, and there's a saloon, a big bar upstairs.
Oh yeah, what is that one called? I forgot the name of that. Cinchin Bar? No, that's something else. But yeah, there's at the end when Wisconsin. Who was it? Oshkosh?
Knocked out of bounds will be Edgewood basketball.
Eau Claire. Wisconsin-Eau Claire was here. They, I think it was a year or two ago, with both programs. They made that bar a location for alumni and friends and family to join before each and every game when both men and women were here.
That's a great move.
But this arena sees the Meekum
three-pointer in and out again.
Sees the Meekum auto auctions in here.
Misses by Steffens, rebound by Wynn.
You got rodeos, you've got other horse equestrian events in here, jumping and the like. There's a lot of things that go on.
Three-pointer, this one is good. Another one by Felty. And he single-handedly with back-to-back threes with 10 minutes left. It's made it a three-point game, and the Wasps, well, they're stirring.
I don't know if they'll use this event, but Miss Teen Nevada is in this South Point facility. I don't know if it's in this particular area or somewhere else. They got Convention Center as well.
Radicevic's shot there was altered. I think it was Wynn who got a hand on it. Felty, why not another one? He drills it!
3 in a row from Felty.
Felty feels it. Triples. And we're nodding at 50.
This is a game the Eagles were in control of, and they called timeout with their lead gone.
That is how quickly a 15-point lead can evaporate. Full timeout for Edgewood. We'll talk it over. We'll be back in a new ball game.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success. And prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Well, the Eagles, they were soaring. They had a 15-point lead in what would be considered an upset win. But Emory and Henry has woken up, and primarily because of the three-point shooting of sophomore guard Dylan Felty, 6'1", second-year player out of Bristol, Virginia. He has hit 3 threes in a row. Edgewood, a nice inlet pass here as Miller feeds Radicevic, so the Eagles momentarily at least regain a 2-point edge. Edgewood does.
There's no timeout coming. I'm just updating a graphic because once again we've been misinformed by the scoreboard.
Running, one-hander falls down. Jordan Grant ties it again. 52 all. And I expect the last 8 minutes and change to be just as entertaining as this comeback has been, as Emory and Henry, which struggled mightily for the first 30 minutes of this contest, they have new life.
We've now had 7 ties in this contest. Most of the other 5 happening in the opening minutes of this game.
.8:34 to play, 52-52. Keep feeding Radicevic. He's kind of been the straw for that stirring this offense. Inside, taking it, hard play there. Good job, Jake Nagus. Aggressive play as the 6'1" sophomore guard. Another 2-point lead for the Eagles.
Foul on the Eagles for shoving through a screen.
Felty was trying to slide through the right side of that screen.
I thought Felty was setting it. You might be right. I just saw Felty on the floor, so I thought he got shoved through.
To me, I thought Davis had come over to kind of set the screen to allow him to pop to the corner, and I would assume.
Okay, and then he popped him instead.
Either way, Felty's going to take a well-deserved break. 9 points for him here in the last few minutes to really ignite this Wasps comeback. Wynn has it. Lost the handle was Spencer. One of the Edgewood players got a piece of it. Steffens now over to Staver. Pull-up jumper, Steffens, no good. And with Radicevic out of the game, Edgewood needs to come up with a different person to kind of be the one to be the catalyst.
Yeah.
Talked about it, how Emil Radicevic has kind of been that guy always touching the ball.
Wow, great feed over the top by Grant. Wynn couldn't get it to fall as he was shoved from behind. But yes, your point.
You can do that when you have, again, 6'6",
yes.
Not your traditional center height, but it is common at the Division III level.
Very common, yeah.
And you got a player there with the versatility he has. Why not run your offense through him? And free throw is good by Alec Wynn. Substitution returning will be Jacob Miller. Anthony Williams comes back for the Wasps. Hendricks and Steffens will be the 2 players that go to their respective benches. That one is short, so 1 out of 2. The lead is 1 for Edgewood. Left side, Nagus with it. Bounce pass into Lemke. Lemke looking at his options. Cross-court pass, telegraphed and picked off by Suggs.
Suggs was baiting that one. Suggs knew that Staver was in the corner.
And a pull-up jumper, Suggs. Oh, man.
Lead.
And a 55-54 edge. The Wasps, they have swarmed back. They are in front for the first time I think perhaps the whole game. I have to go back and check the notes.
Well, there's been 6 lead changes, so they've led a few times, but it was all in the beginning
they led
of the game.
once at the 1947 mark.
They can't lead once with 6 lead changes.
Three-pointer, that is good.
Led for a minute 38 at halftime.
But it was all early on in the contest, all in that first minute and change. Either way, three-pointer by Miller, fresh into the game. The largest lead of the game was 2.
7.
That was on the first play of the game. And prior to that lead a moment ago, they had led for just 138, all in that opening stanza.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the game when the teams were going back and forth and scoring. And that's a body foul, as Suggs was trying to go up for the shot. Gonna earn it. You're gonna earn it at the line.
So Suggs to the line, trying to tie this one up. First one is good. And the second foul shot is good as well. So Suggs ties it up yet again. And Felty, he'll come back in, give Suggs a break. Those two players have been the catalyst for the Wasps. And we are knotted yet again. A lot of these lead changes are because of the ties that are involved here down the stretch. And we have under 6 minutes to play. Anyone's contest still. Radicevic back in the game for the Eagles.
It's our 5th or 6th tie. I've lost track.
Kicking out to Miller. Radicevic, 18-footer is short.
You know what? Wynn forced that to be short because all of a sudden Radicevic had to put a little more arc into that shot because Wynn was flying at him. That was a great defensive play.
Williams had a shot, gave it up, feeding Felty, and he traveled.
Well, he traveled before he made the turn back. He just took a second because he definitely kind of shuffled and dragged the pivot foot. .5:02 remaining here in a tie ball game that, I mean, let's be honest, 5 minutes ago didn't feel like it was going to be like this. Looked like the Eagles were in control.
And they were in control, but somehow Emory and Henry has found a way to claw their way back. And a moving screen.
No, was it a screen? Who'd they call?
I believe they called it on Myers. Is that Myers? No, it was Miller. My fault.
I'd love to know what they saw. I got screened out. I could, no pun intended. I wasn't sure what happened, so that's why I was asking. I was curious what the call was. Because the ball handler didn't have a screen. Hitting the Seafeld takes a seat. And we remain knotted at 57s.
Spencer with it. Spencer got caught. He had to pick up his dribble. 15 to shoot. Hendricks back in the game. Hendricks strong to the rim, and he scores.
It's a nice drive.
And the Wasps back in front by 2, matching their largest lead of the game.
Yep.
And this one is a pretty easy call, an offensive foul.
Justin Meyer might not like it, but Nagus reached up, made contact with an open hand on the chest, and shoved the player away from him.
That's the right call for sure.
Yes, the player went flying, but that's the definition of the rule. Especially when it's been an emphasis the last 2 years.
Again, this time kicking it out. Suggs, 3, bang!
Biggest lead of the ball game.
62-57, 5-point lead for the Wasps. Three-pointer, that answer will be short. Loose ball scooped up here by Spencer. And Emory and Henry brings it up the floor. Spencer got trapped, bounce pass down low, too low for a Wynn to handle, and scooped up by the Eagles. Floated to the left side. Cross-court pass is deflected. Comes Instead out to Staver, and then a layup is good as Radicevic, a little bit of the half reverse.
You could have called Spencer earlier for a little bit of that shoulder into the defender. I believe this is timeout Edgewood. I am double checking it. It is. 30-second variety. I believe that will give them 2 and Emory and Henry 3. Should point out Emory and Henry will be shooting the double bonus as Edgewood has got 10 fouls. Though E&H has only committed 5 fouls so far in this contest, in the second half.
Taking a look at the updated numbers, and Edgewood just 7 out of 24 from three-point range. Emory and Henry not significantly better at 5 out of 18, but they've gotten 3 big threes by Dylan Felty, and then a moment ago, Darren Suggs, his biggest shot of the game thus far to push the lead to 5. Emory and Henry just 4 turnovers here in the second half. Radicevic has 18 for the Eagles. Seafield has 10. Then a whole cluster of players with 8 and 6 points each. Emory and Henry, they have the ball. Suggs has 21. 21 of their 62, exactly 1/3. Approaching 3 minutes to play, and a double dribble picked up. You heard the Edgewood bench in the background. They saw it before the official could even blow his whistle.
It was an awkward situation for Hendricks, but when he received the ball, he made a downward dribble motion. He picked it up, and you could tell him kind of like, hey, did I dribble just then? And then he decided to go for it. I think that's why the delayed whistle. It just was an awkward realization.
One more game to follow. This will be Ramapo and Leanfield, but first deciding the outcome of what's been a pretty good game considering. Shot was altered there, the attempt by Myers, and Emory and Henry will have the ball, leading by 3 and a chance to extend it.
Did you see a foul there? Justin Meyer and the head coaching staff thought there was. I thought he got all ball.
I thought it was completely all ball. Suggs completely all net. His second 3 in the last minute and a half. It's a big one. The lead is 6, the largest of the game for the Wasps.
Well, you'll say one thing, E&H woke up.
And a blocking foul here on Wynn.
Wynn took a hard hit on that one.
Emory and Henry has outscored Edgewood 37-21 here in the second half after being down by 10 at the break. And you can tell that Wynn is certainly feeling the brunt of that collision.
Yeah, he needed an extra moment, didn't he? Officials gave it to him.
Those are absolutely tough fouls to take as you get the wind knocked out of you.
Absolutely. Or you land backwards and just take a hard hit on the ground. Either way, not a comfortable feeling whatsoever as both free throws are good.
Steffen's 2 big foul shots, cuts it to 4. Still anyone's ball game. Jordan Grant, freshman out of Windermere, Florida, hands it off to Suggs. Suggs, the sophomore, very young Emory and Henry squad. At the guard spots, 3-pointer, bang! Jarris Hendricks, one of the lone seniors on the floor. He drills it. The lead is 7. Oh, answering the other way. Edgewood Steffen says, I'll have a taste. And it's back to a 4-point game. And suddenly 2 teams that have been struggling mightily from deep are heating up in the waning moments of this one. Ball knocked away at midcourt. Suggs over to Hendricks. And then a foul called here on Miller. So Hendricks will go to the line. Chance to make this a much more difficult comeback bid by Edgewood. Hendricks a 71% foul shooter on the year. That one is good.
Next one's big because it forces it to be 2 threes.
And in and out.
Oh, big
good rebound by
Wynn.
Wynn on the way up. Tie up.
Yep.
Who has the arrow? It belongs to Emory and Henry.
Good call. Getting his hands in there was Jacob Miller. If the ball's inbounded successfully, it'll be switched back.
No look pass. Corner. Hendricks, 3. That one is short. Loose ball coming up with it. It is Radicevic. Big possession here for Edgewood. Down by 4 in a game that they thought they had. Correction, down by 5, 69-64. A game they thought they had in the bag. Kicked out. Swinging it. Everyone touches it. 3-pointer. Miller, too long. Radicevic taps it out.
The only reason Steffens didn't take that original one was because he caught it at his shoe tops.
Miller to the hole. Misses it. Another opportunity here. 3-pointer. Left side. That is short. And Wynn gets nailed in the back of the head as he grabbed that one.
David Wilson screaming from the sideline. I couldn't pick up what he was trying to call for. But he was barking out commands of where he wanted his team to go with the ball. And again, Steffens had an original look at that first 3, but he caught it at his shoelaces, and so he smartly thought to pass up the opportunity to give a teammate, and they ended up passing it all the way around the horn.
Big foul shots here.
Well, can't make it more than a 2-possession ball game with that miss. A timeout called by E&H.
Yeah, 30-second timeout here for the Wasps. They will have one more foul shot to go. Now, for Emory and Henry, their first game in the tournament, they are the last of 18 to see the floor again. They also play the final game tomorrow.
Yeah, they play 2 of the last 3 games of the tournament.
We'll see a lot of
Whitworth playing 2 of the last 4. Quirk with the scheduling. You know, each team to some degree will say, hey, this is what we want to do, you know, schedule-wise when we want to come out. They can't completely dictate it as the tournament is going to have to be played within a certain window, and on top of that, if a team is coming out at a time and it just makes it completely inconvenient for the rest of the tournament, you know, I'm sure behind the scenes that is conveyed.
Can you imagine if a team wanted to play Thursday and then Sunday? That's about the longest you would ever see.
Yeah, that wouldn't be basically allowed. That's too fair an advantage. Yes, I mean, we see it where they get a day off in between. That sometimes is dictated by the schedule. But that's not the end of the world.
1 out of 2 for Alec Wynn. A 6-point lead, 45 seconds to go. Edgewood.
It's more about their travel schedule, just to be clear.
3-pointer, that's forced up too long. Another rebound by Wynn. He is fouled as Steffens was trying to strip the ball away and trying to ice it from the line will be the senior forward, Alec Wynn.
He's got to hit 1 to make this a 3-possession ball game as Steffens will foul out of this contest. And Wynn hasn't looked completely comfortable at the line. But this will be a heck of a comeback for the Wasps should the Eagles not make their own comeback. And again, Edgewood is, you know, they're competitive. They're at least trying to make games of it, but they struggle to put 40 minutes together. Listen. You know, they gave up a lead to Platt. Or they gave up the game to Platteville, which was not as close, or was closer than 80-57. That's a key free throw.
Wow, Wynn wanted that one.
Yeah.
He willed that one in. Listen, you see the schedule they've put together. Good schedule. Non-conference, but you know what? You got to win some of those games.
And well, they're building they're clearly trying to build the program.
And they made that one. They had a great showing for 36 minutes or so.
Yep.
Just not going to be enough here, barring a miraculous comeback now, as they trail by 8 after those 2 free throws. Under 30 seconds to play. Can't find an open look at the rim. Myers off balance. Radicevic, 3-pointer is short. It'll come into the waiting hands of Daniel Spencer, and the Wasps will just dribble out the clock. They trailed by 15, but they showed the gritty squad that they are that has taken the ODAC by storm, as they battle back to find a way to win today, 72-64. And for Emory and Henry, now 9-3 on the year. They come to Las Vegas, open up the tournament for them on the last final moment, really, that you could possibly play in this event, and they get an impressive come-from-behind win that for a while looked like it was going to go the other direction.
They were excited about the victory, and I'm sure David Wilson's glad they got the win, but he is going to be all over them about how that game progressed for them. They dug themselves a serious hole and did not get out of it till late, maybe thanks in part to Edgewood not being able to complete the game, but they've got a very different foe in Whitworth coming up tomorrow.
Whitworth tomorrow will be the ultimate test.
Yeah, they cannot dig a hole against Whitworth or that game will be over.
So as we take a look at the final numbers from this one, leading scorers for Emory and Henry, well, it was Suggs. He was the one who kind of sparked their first half ability to stay in the contest when he scored 12. And then he hit 2 big threes late in this one, finished with 24 points overall. Jairus Hendricks had 13 points, Alec Wynn had 10, and not to be lost in the scorers was Dylan Felty, because his 3 triples were the ones that initially sparked the comeback when they did trail by 15. Very timely shots that kind of willed Emory Henry back into the contest, and then Suggs helped finish it off. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, 18 points for Emil Radicevic. He was their top player all game. They pretty much fed the floor through him. And unfortunately for an Eagles fan, it's not enough today to close out an Emory Henry team that just had the will to win today, found a way to get it done. Final thoughts from you on this one?
Nah, I said it earlier. Wasps lucky they get back into this because Edgewood wasn't able to close it out. Can't do that tomorrow. For Edgewood, listen, you know, if you're going to grow the program, you need to take these lumps sometimes to understand what the challenges truly are out ahead of you, especially outside of conference, in a conference that isn't considered in the upper half. It's a good week for Edgewood despite the results. They'll learn a lot from this.
11 points from Steffens, 10 points from Seefeld. Nagus and Myers each had 8 in a losing cause for the Eagles. As Edgewood drops this one, they fall to 3-7 on the year. They will head back to Madison, and they will return to action their next game January 3rd on the road against Concordia University of Wisconsin as they return to NACC play. Meanwhile, of course, as we mentioned earlier, one more game on this trip for Emory and Henry. The ODAC foe will take on Northwest Conference member Whitworth, one of the better teams in the country over the last decade, and proving so yet again in 2018-19. One more game coming up today. In approximately 25 minutes, it'll be Ramapo taking on Linfield. East Coast against West Coast. And we'll see if Ramapo can win and keep its record alive for what's been a good start for the Roadrunners after making the Final Four and losing virtually everybody from that squad. Linfield had a solid win on day one, and they are back in action here in Las Vegas. This is it for me. I'm heading to the airport, heading back to the East Coast.
Actually, we're going to need your cell phone. We're going to have you call in.
I'll do it from the raw. That'll be interesting. Can I do it from 30,000 feet?
I don't know. That's your challenge.
That would be a D3 Hoops Classic first for sure. Been a pleasure to come out here, be with you guys for the second year in a row. Look forward to coming back in 2019 for the 10th annual Classic. And quality basketball all around. I mean, this has been a great tournament. Very impressive games. The Whitworth Johns Hopkins game, the Ohio Northern North Central game, 2 games I'll certainly remember for quite a bit of time. And I wish you guys the best. One more game for you today, and then, of course, tomorrow we'll close out this event as we have Whitworth taking on Emory and Henry. Thanks to both schools' sports information directors for their help in preparing for this game, and for everyone here at the South Point Arena, really putting on a great event here on day 3 of the 9th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. For Pat Coleman and Dave McHugh, I'm Ira Thor. Thanks for watching this broadcast on D3Hoops.com. Be with us. Ramapo, Linfield coming up. Till then, be well, everybody.